In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Today we celebrate the feast of Saint Bibiana, one of the virgin martyrs of Rome. She comes from a family of martyrs. First, her parents were martyred, Flavinus and Demetria, and then her sister was martyred, Euphrosia, and then finally Bibiana. But after her parents were martyred, she and her sister gave all their goods to the poor and their house to the church. And her house is now a church called St. Bibiana's in Rome there. So that's a family home. That's what happened to that. But they came from a family of martyrs because their parents taught them at a young age to love God and be willing to sacrifice everything for the kingdom of heaven. And that's what our Lord teaches us in the gospel for today. If you read the gospel for today's Mass, so it's like a treasure hidden in a field. And a man finds the treasure, he hides it, and then he sells everything he has and goes and buys that field. He sells everything, gets rid of everything so he can get that field to get the treasure. Or it's a pearl without price, for which a man sells everything so he can buy that pearl. And this is what we have to sacrifice everything, even our own lives, for the kingdom of heaven. And this is what the saints and the martyrs did because they loved God with their whole heart and their whole will and their whole strength. And that's what we have to do. If we don't love God enough, we will not be willing to be martyred. If we're called upon to be martyred, will there be things we don't want to sacrifice? That's the trouble with people today. We don't want to sacrifice certain things for the kingdom of heaven. We don't want to give up some things that are maybe something very necessary even, but we don't want to give up things. We don't want to sacrifice things. We say we want these things and we want the kingdom of heaven as well. And this is to have a divided heart, a heart that doesn't love God completely, and it's to be unworthy of Him. So it's what makes us lukewarm. Where we do want to love God, we want to make sacrifices for God, we want to be united with God, but we don't want to give up everything for Him. We don't want to say, no, I'm not going to sell everything. I'll sell some things in order to obtain the kingdom of heaven, but there's some things I want to keep. And I want to keep these things. I'm attached to them. I don't want to give them up. And these things prevent us from giving our whole heart to God and make us lukewarm. And this is very dangerous to be lukewarm. Our Lord said it'd be better if you hated me than if you are lukewarm towards me. That you say you love me, but your heart is not with me. And this is the saints were not like that. The saints were not lukewarm. Saint Bibiana's heart was with God, and she willingly, when her parents died, she willingly got rid of all her goods. She wasn't poor, she was wealthy. She willingly got rid of all her goods and says, yes, I'm prepared also to love God. And so after she watched her sister being tortured and died, and she herself was tortured and died. So we want to think, and these virgin martyrs, they practiced the virtue of purity, and they practice the virtue of love of God. And this is what makes them so beloved of our Lord, that their hearts were not stained by the world, stained by the things of the world. They kept their hearts unattached to the world and gave them to Him completely. And they didn't attach them to other creatures. They said, no, I am here for God. And so let's ask these saints, ask the Saint Bibiana and her parents and her sister, that we might learn to serve God like them. And it's the duty of parents to teach their children to love God with their whole heart, both by their example and by their exhortations and by their discipline. So yes, we cannot be cheating our Lord out of some of the things that He has a right to. He has a right to everything, so we want to give everything to Him. And this is something that parents must teach their children, so that those children in their day will be also willing to be martyrs for our Lord. So let's ask these saints to intercede for us, and we might follow the path that they laid out, the path that we are certain is a path to go to heaven. So for Saint Bibiana, that was the path of purity, the path of innocence, and then the path of martyrdom. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.